It's really important that we have academic rigour, and one of the problems with the GCSE system that was in operation before is that there wasn't enough nuance in the system. It wasn't recognising the very best students, and it also wasn't thoroughly testing them enough. There was too much coursework. We needed more exams. Exams always are a pressure, and but in the exam system that we have, we only really have 2 points where we really test children, and that is at 11 and 16. I think one of the things that needs to happen, this is a good reform because it gives more nuance and it's picking out the very best students. But another reform that needs to happen, and this is where I acknowledge some of your concerns, is that we need to recognise children who've got more vocational and technical skills, and the system, because it's skewed very much to an academic, picking out academically bright children, it perhaps is not recognising other skills that children have. And I would advocate that we need to make further adjustments and perhaps introduce different kinds of qualifications for children. I acknowledge that mental health issues can occur through exams, but we've been doing GCSE exams for decades. I acknowledge that exams are stressful. We've all experienced that. Can we take out all of the pain and all of the stress? No. Part of the learning to do exams is part of the difficulties of going to interviews, being prepared for life, and you can't take all of the pain out of everything. You're right, there are going to be problems and issues, and we have to help people overcome those things and address those fears and address those problems that they have. But we can't take away the exam system because everybody feels it's stressful. I mean, it is stressful, I accept that. Are we going to take all the university exams away, everything away, just because it's stressful? No, we can't do that. Preparing for an exam is perfectly normal. Obviously, you can look at sample answers, but if the questions are set properly and the exams set properly, it will, test the child's ability and knowledge. That's what they're set to do. So the quality of the exam is very important, but coursework is a real problem because we cannot monitor what children are doing in their homes, and I believe that leads to inflated grades, particularly amongst middle class children, and it's not protecting working class children who should have a level playing field. I believe that going from grades to numbers has been a problem. I acknowledge that. I don't necessarily think that was a good idea.
I agree. Absolutely.
But the drive of the reforms to increase standards and ensure that they're rigorous, that I agree with. Well, grade inflation is about the way things are marked. And in the end, unfortunately, under a series of governments, we have had grade inflation. There has been a tendency for particular governments to want to make their education policy look a success. So more children seem to pass tests. But that's where we've got to keep the educational system independent and got to assess children properly.